No, 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 no.
Hello, friends. This week we examine some more social justice madness with aliens and predators apparently being racist representations of black people. Of course. But first, a new segment called Canada Does It Late. Okay. So I stole or appropriated this segment and that clip from YouTuber Steven Crowder and his bit, Crowder Does It Late. But as he would say, to appropriate is to appreciate. The Defund the Police movement has spread to Canada. It did so a while ago, and we are now seeing some of the statue pulling and monument destruction that has already presented itself in the United States. So, we're playing catch-up, of course. This time tearing down a statue of John A. Macdonald in Montreal, Quebec. John A. Macdonald is the founder of Canada and was a man of many faults. He commissioned a study of residential schools before being informed of their effectiveness and putting them into practice. This, of course, was not a good thing, to put it very lightly, with children being removed from their homes and placed into these, residential schools. Many know of that, and hence why the statues are coming down, but they might not know that John A. Macdonald actually then gave Native Americans, or Indians at the time, the right to vote. Although that was later removed by the next government, which was a Liberal government led by Wilfrid Laurier, and wasn't reinstated until another Conservative government led by John Diefenbaker. Even fewer are probably aware that John A. Macdonald was also the first Prime Minister to attempt to give women the right to vote. And yes, again, he was our very first Prime Minister. Period. He pushed for this back in 1885, which of course predates when women were finally given the vote in 1918. The vote, of course, didn't pass, but he was the first national leader in the world pushing for it. So, kudos, right? Now, I'm no fan of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, but I don't have TDS. That's Trudeau Derangement Syndrome, an acronym that I also appropriated from our neighbors to the south, where it of course stands for Trump Derangement Syndrome. There are anti-Trumpers, of course in the US, obviously in the US, but even here in Canada as well, many of them, where they believe that everything that Trump says or does must be wrong, must be evil. While I disagree with much of what Trudeau has said and done, the ethics scandals, the gun bans, and so on, I'm willing to commend him when it is due, when it is proper. So, well done, Justin Trudeau. Trudeau did condemn the vandalism of this historic monument to John A. Macdonald, expressing his disappointment. So, kudos, Trudeau. And that is this week's Canada Does It Late. Now to the meat of the madness. This article is from The Conversation entitled How Hollywood's Alien and Predator Movies Reinforce Anti-Black Racism. Depicting black people? How do you even get that? How do you... Oh, it's because they're black. In color. I guess they should have whitewashed the monsters, right? Or wait, would that be cultural appropriation then? This article hits closer to home for myself, sort of, as it is written by a Brock University professor, which is the university here in Ontario, Canada, where I went to school. The professor's name is Tamari Katosa. Ah, a predator! Wait. No. My mistake. Now I see how easy it is to
Today, Junior!
to mix those up. Let's consider the article. It reads, "The short answer is that we are dealing with a culture of domination. It is a culture that thrives on the sexualized demonization of black people. Two examples of this are Ridley Scott's Alien, which comports with the trope of black women as alien breeders." What? Of women as alien breeders, and Predator, written by brothers Jim and John Thomas, that riffs on images of black men as dreadlocked, violent, and superhuman. Black women as alien breeders. I would never, in 100 years, have imagined that on my own. Wow. Even with this thought being brought to my attention, I don't see it. I imagined, when looking at the alien and considering the design, I imagined that the alien design resembled something like an insect, many of which are black. Go look out under some rocks and, yeah. So, you know what I did? I Googled Ridley Scott Alien Ant. Those 4 words. To narrow it down to the movie, I needed to have Ridley Scott, but I thought, hey, it kind of makes me think of an ant. So let's see if I find anything, got any hits. And you know what? I did get some. I found an article on a website called Screen Hub, noting interviews with designer H.R. Geiger and Ridley Scott. And it reads as follows. "Though often attributed to Cameron, the insect influence was part of the creature from the very beginning. Insects were, by Geiger's own admission, one of the most critical design aspects of the beast." In an interview with the magazine Cinefex 7 years prior to Aliens, he had this to say about his iconic work. "We decided to make a very elegant creature. Quick, and like an insect." I don't know what he sounds like, but I gotta switch it up, right? It was this aspect that initially appealed to Ridley Scott after Dan O'Bannon showed him Geiger's Necronom 4. Scott described the creature design as like a rather beautiful humanoid, biomechanical insect. He talked about this in a 1991 interview for the Alien Saga. "I wanted him," that is the alien, "to be insect-like, like an ant. Because if you examine an ant under a microscope, they're kind of elegant. And I wanted him to be very elegant and dangerous." So, wow. I was actually spot on with my search. With my assumption that about the design of the creature and how it resembled an ant. It turns out that was by design. It was I was somehow able to see through the racism to the reality beyond. It's like my superpower, I guess. I'm like some sort of oracle or something. I mean, I did also call the Canadian Conservative election results correctly, with Erin O'Toole as the winner, despite mainstream media thinking otherwise. It's a gift. Tamari continues in his article, "Black men and boys are imagined as dangerous, threatening, inherently criminal, and superhuman. Bigger, faster, stronger." Okay, Daft Punk. I've heard this one before. And less likely to feel pain. These views have roots in chattel slavery. Canada is not innocent in the reproduction of this trope. Oh, notice this. Here we go. Inspired by Southern secessionists, Canada's first Prime Minister, John A. Macdonald, claimed the death penalty would deter black men from assaulting white women. Ooh! Ha! It's our good old friend John A. You see how I brought that around? How I connected the stories? I'm thinking. I'm a thinker. Finally, Tamari concludes with the way to move forward, providing some answers, some solutions, what we should do. So, to solve the problem, he says, we need to recognize our fear of black people. I didn't realize I was afraid, but that's what we need to do. We need to have Hollywood apologize. Hey, we might find some agreement there. I bet there is a lot for Hollywood. There is a lot for Hollywood to apologize for. And then finally, white people need to examine our whiteness? What is that exactly? And how do I do that? So Tamari links to an article on abolishing whiteness. So I popped over there, scanned through the article, and came out the other end none the wiser. Seriously, it was a lengthy article talking about people becoming white, whiteness being a problem, talking about what whiteness is not, but never actually saying what it is. Apparently, I did find the avatar of whiteness is Western civilization. That horrible thing. So, if whiteness is Western civilization, I guess it's really not so bad, eh? And maybe something that we don't want to abolish? That's just me, though, and many folks. I mean, Western civilization has been a good thing, but that could be a whole other video. So I'm not saying whiteness is Western civilization, but I am saying Western civilization is a good thing. And if it is whiteness, well, 2 + 2 = 4, so you do the math. But, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. If you like the video, give it a like, and if you want to see more, be sure to subscribe for more. Because that's what winners do. And you want to win, right? Till next time.